Okay, Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Nur Ali Shakira binti Muhammad Safri. Along with my team Nur Ain Munira binti Muhammad Khairuddin, Muhammad Hasnan bin Mat Zahir, Khairul Hakim bin Rasid and Muhammad Najmi Ashraf bin Adnan. Today we will present about our last assessment, which is a basic web application for CentOS that we have to configure 3 servers, which is firewall server, web server and MySQL server. Okay, for the introduction, based on the picture, that is what our task will be, which is we have to, as I mentioned before, we have to set up 3 servers. Okay, for firewall server is to control and monitor incoming and outgoing network. For firewall server, this will be set up by Muhammad Hasnan. Okay, next is web server. Web server is to deliver content or services to the end users, and this will be done by Nur Ain Munira. And lastly, MySQL server, or what we usually call is a database server. Okay, database server is to store and manage data that stored in a server and provide data access for authorized users only. Okay, so for this MySQL server will be done by Khairul Hakim. Okay, next is for the configuration part. Okay, for this configuration part, laptop that we use, since these 3 servers have to compile in one laptop, so the laptop that we will be using is Muhammad Najmi Ashraf laptop. Okay, firewall server, as I already mentioned, firewall server will be done by Muhammad Asnan, database server will be done by Khairul Hakim, and web server will be done by Nur Ain Munira.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hasnan bin Mat Zahir, and today I'm going to show you guys on how to set up the configuration in firewall server. First of all, we are going to check the IP address for firewall server. Then we are going to activate the connection on interface ENS33 using command nm-tui. Before we activate the connection, use the command as shown in this video to display the configuration file for network interface ENS33. Inside the configuration file for network interface ENS33, change on boot from no to yes and save the file. Then we are going to open nm-tui again and activate the connection again at interface ENS33. Next, type IP space A space S to check the IP address on interface ENS33. After you know the IP address for firewall server, try to ping from PC to firewall server by typing on your keyboard Windows R and try to ping the firewall server using the IP given. Now we are going to do the configuration inside firewall server. There are 2 things that we needed to allow, which is SSH on port 22 and HTTPS on port 443. These 2 things will only allow access from your PC. If we have to allow or deny the service or ports from particular IP, we have to configure using rich rules. Okay, let's start by allowing the SSH on port 22. Using the command as shown in this video to allow the SSH port into the firewall default zone using reach rule. Then we are going to allow HTTPS on port 443 using the same command again, but on port 22, change 22 to 443 and press enter to allow HTTPS port into the firewall default zone. After we configure these 2 rich rules, we have to reload the firewall to make changes on firewall server by using command firewall-cmd space --reload. If you want to check the rules is inside the firewall server or not, You can view it by using the command firewall-cmd space --list -all and press enter. Inside the firewall, you can see that the reach rule has been added to the firewall server. Okay, that's all from me. Next, I would like to pass to Cairo Hakim for configuration on database server.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Hakim Berasid. So now I will present for my part, which is configuration to database server. For database, we need MariaDB or MySQL. The command used for this is yum install MariaDB server. After the Maria database installation complete, next we should restart MariaDB by using command systemctl enable now MariaDB. System control status MariaDB command is used to check status of Maria database. As you can see, the status is running. MariaDB and MySQL are basically the same things. They run on port 3306. The web server by default run on port 80. Now let's install curl. curl is a command line tool for transferring data from out to a remote server. With curl, you can download or upload data using various network protocols. To go inside database, we can use MySQL command. By using command mysqlv, we can check MySQL version that have been installed. As you can see, we are using MySQL version 15.1. Now, let's access the database. Use MySQL and then show tables. Now, to show information for user and host in MySQL user. Using command ipas to check IP address for network interface ENS33. Use this command to configure the network interface ENS33 files. Here we want to make sure the on-boot set to yes. Now let's try ping from host PC to database server. As you can see, we are getting reply from database server. Now let's try create a database for WordPress, and we also creating a user. Next, we must give privilege on WordPress to test user. Use show grants to verify privilege on test user. Now we can see test user have been granted all privilege on WordPress. Now the database configuration is done. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuraim Mira. Today I'm going to present my part, which is installing web server and make a website. Okay, first we need to check the SE Linux mode using command get enforce. Okay, and then we know that our server SE Linux mode is disabled. Then we proceed to install the HTTPD service package using command yum install HTTPD. Okay, then we wait until all the installation process finish. Okay, we already have MySQL and other things installed. Just the HTTPD, just the web server would be installed. Okay, then we install PHP MySQL package because we need to connect our website to the database using this package. Okay, then we wait for the installation process finish. Okay, now it's done. We need to enable the HTTPD service using command system ctl enable -- now httpd. Okay, then we wait. Okay, now we check the status of the httpd using command system ctl status httpd. Okay, as we can see, the status is reloading. Okay, if you want to confirm it if you want to confirm it again, you can just run command system ctl restart httpd. Okay, then we wait, and then we can just check the status of the httpd using command system ctl status httpd. Okay, then we get the same result, which is the status is reloading. And then we can, if we want to confirm it once again, we can just open up the browser and type in the IP address of the server in the search field, and if the landing page we get is the Apache web server, then it means the web server is working fine. Okay, then let's install WordPress, which is a website that we want to create. Okay, then we need to download the WordPress download file at their own website. Okay, then after the downloading process done, we can just unzip the file. Okay, then we check whether the unzipped file is in the directory. Okay, it's there, and then we can just remove the download file because we want to use the unzip file only. Okay, then we copy the WordPress file into the var www html directory, because this directory is to create the landing page of the website that we want to. Okay, then we need to assign ownership to the WordPress file. We assign the ownership to the Apache. Okay, then we can just open up our browser and type in the IP address to view the WordPress landing page. Okay, then we need to specify the database name. We just use the WordPress database name. Then we need to specify the username. We use test user in this case, and the password is test@123. The database host is the IP address itself, 192.168.186.128. Okay, then we click submit and then run the installation. Okay, in this page we need to specify the site title, which is we use test_website in this case, the username test_user, the password we just use the password given. Okay, and then we need to insert to provide the email address, which is test@test.com, and then click install WordPress. Okay, then the installation is success. Then we just click login. The username is test_user. We just copy the password that we choose before and paste it in this field, password field, and then we log in. Then it direct us to this page page that we want to create the website, and then we can just test by open up a new browser by typing in the IP address, but we must type in the WordPress at the end of the IP to specify which website that we want to go. And then okay, there you go, the website is there. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you so much.
For this conclusion for this assignment, we did 3 servers configuration, which is web servers configuration, firewall server configuration, and MySQL server configuration. So based on these 3, we can conclude that it is important to know what factors and conditions to make up the security in order to plan and implement a proper strategy, which is from the firewall server we configure. There are 2 ports that we need to configure, which is HTTPS and SSH. These 2 is to allow the user PC to access the internet. So I guess that's all from us. Thank you.